Great. Number 9, Dinoflagellates. Go!
So about 2 summers ago, I experienced my first family reunion. I have 2 uncles that live on opposite sides of the world, which means it's kind of hard to get us all together, even when there's an 80th birthday or a marriage. And the only time that I can actually remember them being all in the same room was when my grandma, their mother, was dying, and she had dementia. And strangely, one of the most clear memories I have as a child is her not being able to remember their names. But this was different in that we were just together to be together, and we were in this like beach house that belonged to my great uncle, who actually also lost his mind later in life, which is a trait that seems to run in my family, which is probably the reason that I consider memory to be this fragile thing. But I do remember sitting in this beach house, the 60-year-old beach house, and there was a window right here. And like a sliding glass door that was right there. Yeah. And I remember sitting and listening to my little cousin Filippo tell one of like 6 jokes that he knew in English, because he's from Italy. And his parents, my uncle, actually moved to Italy to be an opera singer and kind of failed. But ended up meeting this woman that ended up being the love of his life, who he married, and consequently was the owner of the first boob that I ever saw at 10 years old, which was totally accidental, but still monumental. I have a picture of my Italian cousins. I'm just gonna pass those around. Y'all can pass this out. And I remember sitting there, and in the other room, I could kind of hear my cousin Josh, accompanied by my brother, playing praise songs, which is pretty much what they played. And it probably almost sounded something like this.
Lord, prepare me, Jesus is sanctuary.
There's this connection that my cousins from Spokane always had. Their father was a preacher for as long as I could remember, and they just always connected music and faith in probably the same way that I had until I sort of stopped realizing or I guess understanding what I thought faith was. But it always sort of sticks with me that was what made them sort of feel the most religious. I also remember that we looked alike, but not totally alike, different, and that we thought alike, though differently enough to where we still sort of were interesting to each other. This is a picture of my Spokane cousins, by the way, which all I remember one night, more specifically than I remember all the other nights, we were walking on the beach at night, and there was this, we were watching on the beach and we were listening to the ocean, which kind of sounded something like this. Yeah, but it was so much, it was closer than that, sort of, and you could smell it. And I remember we decided to go for a swim this evening, and as we got into the water, we realized that when we started to move around, there were these lights that lit up all around us as we were moving. And with every move of our hand, these lights just started to light up with every movement that we made. There are these glowing creatures, these dinoflagellates, which occupy certain areas of the ocean at certain times of year. And it just so happened that my cousins and I had found one of these places, and we just sort of sat and moved to see these lights in this incredible light show. And the thing that I remember most distinctly about this night was just how maybe lucky we all felt. I had really never spent any time with my cousins. It was the first family reunion I had ever had, but somehow I felt so connected to these people for no real good reason. We shared our lives with each other this trip. We cried for each other. We cried for ourselves. And I felt like we were connected by something that was maybe more fundamental than music or than dementia, or even than these chemicals inside of our blood which seemed to bring us there in the first place. I felt like there was something that made us love each other. Whatever it is that mysterious thing that makes all of us love all of our families. And when I think about family, I don't think about watching my own fall apart in front of me. And I don't think about my cousins and their parents and the hypocrisy that's forever changed the way that they look at them. And I never think about courtrooms, and I don't think about fights, and I don't think about social workers, and I don't think about psychologists, and I don't think about any of that. When I think about family, I hope to always remember this night, surrounded by people that I love for no good reason, in an ocean filled with light.